The gender-neutral movement spreads intolerance and sets us back. It makes me very sad that as a society we have tied biological sex to some preconceived idea as to what that means and how we feel. The what's your pronoun and gender-neutral movement, contrary to popular opinion, is one rooted in intolerance and only perpetuates gender stereotypes. Most of us have some traits or interests more commonly associated with the opposite sex. If someone was born female and likes sports and weightlifting and cars and has short hair and likes other women, you're still a woman. You're an inspiring woman for expanding others' views of what it means to be a woman. If someone was born a woman and likes the color pink, flowers, dresses, and wants to be a stay-at-home mom and likes men, you are also a woman, you just are into different things than the previous woman. The fact that there are people out there who feel such unrest due to what they feel on the inside doesn't match what they look like on the outside is tragic, don't get me wrong. It's also tragic to me that there are people that feel that so strongly they feel they must alter their physical form, or go by different pronouns to match whatever it is they feel on the inside. Do I hate people that do that? Absolutely not. I feel bad for them that rather than embracing their biological sex and staying true to themselves they feel they have to change themselves or identify as something else. They don't need that. They need mental help so they feel comfortable in their own skin, yet are still true to themselves. This gender-neutral movement sends a message to people that there may be something wrong with the way they were born. A person born a man who likes other men, who likes to wear dresses and makeup is no less of a man in my eyes. If I ever have children, let's say a boy, and my son says he wants to wear dresses and play with dolls, I will encourage, love and support him, but he is still my son. If my son later says he likes boys instead of girls, I will accept, love and support him. If my son says he wants to change his name, I will tell him go right ahead. I named you before I really knew you, and if you want a different name, you can pick it. But if he says he wants to be a girl, I will ask why and listen, and tell him that I cannot and will not stop him, and will love him regardless, but I want him to think long and hard as to why he wants this. He was born male and is perfect the way he is. No one else's definition of what a man is changes the fact that he is a man. Him being true to his authentic self makes him the strongest, most inspiring man I know, and I want him to see that too. If he goes through with it, and it makes him happy, I will be happy he is happy, but he will always be my son, because that is how he was made and how he was born and he is perfect the way he is. This whole idea of gender is twisted. Edit, just wanted to say thanks to those that kept this calm. Also, thank you to those that shared your personal stories, especially those personally impacted by these issues. I am always the first to admit I have a lot to learn on this topic and am seeking perspectives as often as I can, which is part of why I posted this in the first place. I by no means want to prevent those who seek to transition from finding happiness, and definitely believe people can do what they want with their own bodies. I do believe there are alternative methods, but also realize these people are going through something I cannot relate to, and for some, it's transition or death. I support life and happiness, and that looks different for different people. I'm a gay man who used to play dress up in women's clothing, loved playing with dolls, and was very feminine as a young boy. If my parents had asked me back then if I wanted to be a girl, I likely would have said yes. Thank God they never asked, and I feel sorry for kids today who are in the situation I was, but have parents that push transitioning at a young age. If, as an adult, you want to become transgender, then that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with people transitioning. It's the intolerance and hate many of these people spread that annoys me. They have created a hierarchical system in which all members of the LGBTQ and community are ranked based on how they identify. This leads me to believe many young people would choose to adopt a gender-neutral identity because it gives them a higher status in the community. It's a far cry from the love and acceptance that our older generation fought hard for. When I was coming out of the closet, we wanted people to accept us for who we really were, not who we chose to sleep with or what our sexuality/gender was. The pendulum has swung in the opposite direction now. Your character, actions, and intelligence matter very little compared to your label. Wholeheartedly and absolutely agree, I am 100% in support of adults who wish to transition, however this is not a simple issue. What we are hearing of increasingly is people who have transitioned later regretting the irreversible decisions they made when they were younger, and I believe this is an incredibly serious problem for two reasons. The obvious problem is that people have, for one reason or another, transitioned in the hope that it would help them find peace with who they are and allow them to live as they feel in the moment, only to realize they were wrong and are now, for lack of a better word, fucked. The other less obvious but equally worrying problem is as more and more of these people arise, it will arm the right with the narrative that all trans people are just mistaken, need counseling, and can be fixed. I can see this causing a massive issue, especially within the current political climate. We need greater controls, understanding, and limitations placed on access to puberty, delaying medication and gender reassignment surgery for the sake of transient people, as well as the protection and further validation of transgender individuals and their freedom to choose. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, but that most people are scared to say anything about it. I'm not in disagreement with you, but a significant percentage of teenagers, about 2/3, decide to remain their birth sex after puberty. https://pdfs Semantic Scholar org/5D46/ECA2D6BB6F65E78F5140B6EDB04F7B5CDD PDF_GA equals 2 158-362-3837. However, when adults transition, the percentage that detransition is incredibly low, like between 1 to 4%. I'm not saying prepubescent people shouldn't have access to puberty blockers, I'm just saying that currently 2/3 of young people would regret that decision, so we need to make absolutely sure that it is what is right for the individual. For the sake of the individual and for the greater trans community who could face attack and prejudice under the pretense that this can be cured or is a choice, which it absolutely is not. I think this is very interesting. I'm a mostly heterosexual female, but a few years back I struggled a lot with my gender ID. I'm not superfemme and never have been, and back then I used to mostly just wear jeans, t-shirts, and trainers, and whenever I tried to break away from this look I felt LOL. It took some CBT to help me move away from the idea of myself as invalid/not good enough, because I'm not very feminine. I do agree with your ideas about being really broadly accepting of everything within the spectrum of one gender. I'm not gender neutral, I'm female, and the way I present myself doesn't change this. However, I do also think we should accept whatever people wish to be called. I personally would be a bit hurt if someone called me they/them because it's not who I am and interferes with my gender identity, but if someone else wants to be, then that's cool too.